everyone, and welcome. So, this is session 7, and we have already learned and created so much together. So, last session, we all created our first comics. So, in our past sessions, we learned how to draw human comic characters, right? So, other than human characters, what other types of characters can be found in comics? Many comics have humans as their characters, but many other ones also have animals as their characters, as you can see. So, animals in comics can be shown as pets or as the main characters. Here's an example of animals in comics, and this one is a cat as a pet in a comic. So, this cat is like obviously the pet, and then for this one is this bird and this fox as the main characters of the comics, and they're talking animals. So they're kind of like humanized a bit. And then with this one, they're also talking, but then they look more realistic, like more like real crows, and they also like to find like shiny jewelry, so that's more like real life. So animals in comics, they can be pets, or they can be like talking animals just like humans, or they can be like more like animals but also talking. There are two main features of comic animals in comics, which are shape and expressions. So these two features stand out the most in comic animals, and they kind of act as a guide on how to design comic animals. So let's start by taking a look at shape. So different animals have different body structures. For example, this bear would have a more round structure, and then this like these sheeps, they will have these like more fluffy, because they're like their fur is like fluffy. So they have different body structures. And because we're drawing comics, we don't have to draw them as realistic and complicated as those, realistic type of animal drawings. But for comics, we want to look at the main shapes of the animals to draw them in a more cartoon style. So here, for example, this bear is like round and has this like two round shapes, so one for the belly and one for the head. And then there's this little, I think this is an otter. So this otter has more of a rectangular shape, and then there's this shark that has kind of like a moon crescent shape, and then obviously these sheeps that have like two round shapes. So when you can point out the main shapes in an animal, you will be able to draw in a simplified comic style. So you look for the shapes and then you exaggerate the shapes a bit. And here are more examples of animals with different shapes. These are cats. This is like sort of like a pear shape to show it's a cat and with a tail. And then here's this pig that is very round to show that the pig, I don't know, likes to eat or something. And then more bears and a fish with this oval shape. And now, another important part of comic animals are expressions. So, expressions give your animal characters personality, and that's just like with human characters. So, different pets or different types of animals can have different personalities. So, when you add those different facial features, that will make the comic much more interesting. So, for example, this blue jay that is very ambitious to wake all the animals up, and with this facial expression, like, yes, I'm gonna do that. And then this dog that is very positive, like the comic says, and like very cheerful and stuff, that's smiling. And then the cat that's like more negative and pessimistic with this funny expression here. And then here are two cats that are more like energetic and enthusiastic. So now that we learned the two main parts of comic animals, which are shape and expressions, let's see how we can draw comic animals. So I summarized it into two simple steps, which are first to observe and sketch, and then second to add personality, which is to add different expressions and poses, just like with human characters. So the first step is to observe and sketch, which is always the first step if you want to learn how to draw something for memory. So for whichever animal you want to draw, look at the animal from different angles. Like find photos online if you don't have the animal as a pet or if you can't see it in real life. So look at it from different angles. So maybe from the front, from the side. Uh, Maybe like observe the animal looking up or looking down. So look for the main shapes of the animal and see how the animal moves. So here's an example of a bunny and these bunny drawings over here. So a bunny is kind of like also like two round shapes, right? So this is like the first round shape is the body, and then the second round shape is the face. And then their bunnies obviously have these long ears, which are the unique part of them. So also add the ears as a main shape. And then here are some drawings of bunnies in different poses with like different movements. For example, this one's like standing up a bit, standing on 2 feet, and then this one's sitting down, and then from the side, and this one's from the front, and all of that. So after you observe the animal and sketched it, you know how the animal looks like in real life. So now it's time for you to turn the animal into comic style. So here are some examples of different styles of bunny drawings. So first we observed how the bunny looked like, and now we're gonna stylize it, which is to turn it into comic style. So this first style of bunny drawing here, this bunny is like, it's a very cute style, and obviously we have this little pear shape and this round shape and the ears. And then for the second one, this one is like a more funny style, and this bunny is like kind of a rectangular style. So there are different styles. And then this one is a more humanized style. So the artist added legs and arms to the bunny, and it kind of looks like a human, but still a bunny. So here are some examples of different styles. And so after you simplify the animal and find your style, you can add some expression to the animal character. So for example, here, this happy expression eating the cookies, and this one is like just one, like determined, and this one is like a full expression. And then here's some like happy expressions. So add some expressions to your animal character and remember to exaggerate the expressions, just like when you're drawing human characters. And also remember to keep the facial features of the animals. So for example, the shape of the nose or ears or like the mouth and the position of the facial features and some details such as fur to show that it's an animal and not a human. And you can also add accessories in your drawings. So for example, this bowl from the bunny and this carrot, so like the things that animal uses. And here are some more examples of different animals with different shapes and personalities. So we looked at an example of a bunny, and now here are some different animals. So this one is a guinea pig, two guinea pigs actually, and this guinea pig has this like more aloof personality. So this guinea pig wants to be alone, and then this guinea pig is more friendly and wants the owner to hold the carrot for them while they're eating it. And then we have this comic with a dog and a raccoon. So this dog sees something coming down the chimney and it's like Santa, and a raccoon falls down and it's like ho ho. So you can see the different like personalities of the different animals and also some different shapes of the animals. So here are two different breeds of dogs, and they look pretty different. So they have different shapes. Here are some more examples. So this one, there are some cats with different, colored fur and with different expressions and poses. And then this one is a mouse with different poses and different expressions. And look at how the artist uses the shapes to show that it's, that animal. So for example, the cat, cats obviously have tails and these triangular ears. And then this rat looks very, very flowy. So like a lot of movement and a lot of energy. Today's workshop is to draw your pet in comic style. So if you don't have a pet, you can draw your favorite animal. So that can be any animal, like a wild animal or a pet you want to have or whatever. So now we can get started drawing. And as always, have fun, and I can't wait to see your comic animal characters.